My name is Tanya Kurth, and I'm with Coldwell Banker Realty, and we are doing our premiere today of a client story. And today is we're going to meet Cliff Hanson. And so I'm really excited about this. Every Wednesday, I'm going to be interviewing one of my clients to share their home sale, their buying story. As an agent, I've been sensitive to understanding that a house is not just a house, and the home buying and selling process can be very sensitive to people. So many of our memories, our stories, they're a big part of that process. That led me to where we are today. And so I love what I do because every day I get to just step into another person's life and be a part of their journey. So today we're going to talk to a very special client of mine who has become a dear friend to me and hear a little bit about his journey and his home buying process. So thank you so much, Cliff, for being on with us.
Oh, sure, Tanya. Glad to do it.
I'm so excited to chat with you and for people to hear a little bit about who you are and your journey and fall in love with you like I have. And, you've got a great story. And I just remember meeting you. You had reached out to me on Facebook, I believe, had seen that I had posted a buyer need that maybe fit your property a little bit. And when I came to your home, and I think you had warned me and said, okay, my granddaughter's going to be here. I think she was 4 years old, maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
So anyway, it was just really neat to see your interaction with her and how much you love your family. And so that really kind of set off the beginning of our relationship and our journey as you did your home search and the home selling process. And I'd like you to share with everyone a little bit about your story. So you're pretty gutsy for being on here as the guinea pig and being my first client to do this. Thank you for doing it.
My first comment: if I knew that granddaughters charmed women better than puppy dogs, I'd bring them along a lot more often, I guess. Um, we just had such a good time. I always enjoy them.
Tell us all about where did you grow up? What was your home life like?
Oh man, I don't know that you want to go all that far back, but grew up. Dad was in the Navy until I was about 13. So I think we'll fast forward to that and uh, moving to Two Harbors when Dad retired, and that home had been a summer cabin that had been added on to about 7 times, and was not the final destination, but it was happened to be on a property that my dad wanted to buy to build a business on. So um, it wasn't a great building, but it was a great home.
How long did you live there?
Uh, well, until I graduated from high school, so that had been 6, 7 years on that property before going off to college. So
Okay. And so what would you say were the traditions that you hold sacred today that you learned in that home?
oh, you're not talking about a building, you're talking about my family. Okay.
Yeah.
You
Well, that's why I say houses are not just houses. It's our homes where we have our memories and our experiences and develop ourselves.
Yep, yep. Mostly good memories. Pretty traditional family for the most part. Mom and dad both worked hard and expected us kids to stay in line and work hard and do well in school and be active in the home, chores and all that kind of stuff. So, um, of course, to hear the day before Thanksgiving, I just remember holidays always being important and being celebrated well and big, and Thanksgiving meals, and just lots of good memories.
That's really nice. So, what have you carried with you today that you learned that you practice today in your home? Let's focus on Thanksgiving because tomorrow's
Okay,
Thanksgiving.
all right. Well, as as a single person, been single, re-singled, or single for 6 years now. I've taken up some of my mom's traditions of making pies for Thanksgiving. In the past, I've made lots of different ones. This year, matter of fact, I've got two I've got to finish yet this afternoon. But I got a huge compliment from one of my daughters that said that she thought my pies were every bit as good as grandma's were, and that
Wow.
and actually another one from my son-in-law, whose mom is a very avid baker. We were commenting about getting together Thanksgiving here a month or so ago, and I was offering to make some pies, but his mom was going to be at the event, and I said, "But I'm not going to make pies and try to compete with your mom." And my son-in-law commented, he says, "No, your pies stand up just fine." So, yeah, that was, it's kind of fun to know that I can pick up a tradition that my mom did for years and years and years and do okay with it. But smoked a turkey yesterday. Matter of fact, I think if I remember right, I know I've given you some smoked salmon, but I think I smoked a
Yeah, oh
turkey.
my goodness, it was amazing. I got the turkey and the salmon.
Well, that was the year of the I was your charity case, and you had to sell everything two or three times for me. So I'm still indebted to you. Um,
Yes, you are, and that's why you're here, right?
that's right. That's right.
Cliff was one of those clients that found a home, and towards the tail end, when we were close to sell, that he ended up pulling his offer, and we went back to the drawing board. So that's what he's referring to. And you know
Well, you
what?
see,
It was more time we got to know each other, right, Cliff?
I think selling my first home was more so traumatic that you've blocked that from your memories. I think is what you remember
Yeah,
there. Yeah. Um,
I won't speak to that. You're more than welcome to share what you want to share there.
well, I approached Tanya through her, like she mentioned, with her Facebook, looking for a home, and her description kind of fit what mine was. Only mine had gotten a little tired. Hadn't done a lot of work to it for a few years, and I knew it. I knew I needed to do some updates and some freshening up. Um, and as we talked about it, we did initially a as is listing, and we got a what I thought was a reasonable offer, and they came back with an inspection, and Tanya was showing me previous to my inspection a 50-page report, and I thought, man, that's
It was
horrible.
more like 150 pages.
No, well, that's how long mine was. Not talking about the example you showed me was just,
Oh, got it. Yep.
the one you showed me. I was like, man, if my house comes up with that kind of problems, I'm just going to burn it. Well, my report came back with, I think, 72 or 75 pages and another 8 or 10 on the fireplace. And I thought, I didn't know I was living in a slum. Um, that,
It was
that,
a teardown.
oh, it was. It was. Um, it wasn't even that old. It's one thing
Oh,
to
poor
one thing
Cliff.
to be a slumlord. It's another to live in a slum. But no, and Tanya, that was a nice Plymouth home. It needed some TLC, and when it didn't go as is, so to speak, we pulled it, and I spent about 6 or 7 weeks really busting hump, doing lots of things,
Yeah.
having some things done, hiring some things done. The good news is, yeah, I spent about 8 or 10 grand, but you got me, I think, another 40 grand, 35 or 40 grand after we were all said and done. So I made Tanya sell my house twice and give me lots of advice about decorating and colors and carpeting and just lots of good input. I think she made about 38 cents an hour working with me on my piece. Uh,
Yeah, the
and
hourly rate ended up not being so great.
no, and she's accused me of being her charity case for the year, maybe even for the decade. I don't know, but you
I've
know,
got you under my thumb now.
yep. But several things about Tanya. She's tenacious. She's smart as a whip, and she's very perceptive. She knows what buyers are looking for, and having not been in the real estate market for 20 some years. I mean, I've been in that house 23 years. Um, and I had an idea, but she just said, no, you really need to do this. No, you really should do this. And when it came time to showing, I was so impressed that she came in an hour or so before the showing, walked through, said, no, let's move this furniture. She literally was moving furniture. And here she was, dressed appropriately for a showing. Nice, she had a skirt. She was dressed well, very professional, very sharp looking. She got down on her knees and dusted a shelf in one of the rooms. And I said, Tanya, don't just tell me what needs to be done. You don't need to get down on your hands and knees and clean my house for the showing. And she didn't clean the whole house, but I think that just I was
No.
surprised and thrilled that I had a realtor that would go to those kinds of extents, um,
Mm,
to be sure that that house was as pristine as it possibly could be. Um, for
thank you,
for
Cliff.
I mean, I just never ever ever imagined anyone would work that hard, for the sale, and to help me move my house along and get a great value on it. So, um,
Well, thank you so much for saying that. This isn't about me today, though. It's about you, Cliff, and you're you're so kind, and I really appreciate that. But your house was excellent, and you worked so hard. Every time I came over to your place, you were just sweating and working and making it happen. And you
yeah,
cleared out that house after how many years? Let's talk about that house. So, how long did you live in that house?
23 years. Um,
Wow.
yep, yep. We
And and how did you find it, and what made you fall in love with that home?
Well, actually, I that wasn't my first choice. I was married at the time with three young daughters, and it was kind of my wife's first choice. But you always work along a compromise. And I said, I either need a three-car garage or an oversized two-car garage and a shed in the back for stuff in the backyard. And other than that, the house fit our family well. Each of the girls had their own room, plenty of room, playroom, family room. Um, it was a nice home. It had been well taken care of, and nice big deck. Just a lot of really good features. It was in Plymouth, an area that I wanted to be in, and private backyard, well heavily treed, which I liked, except for about 3 weeks in October when I had to clean up the leaves. Uh, yeah, well, it
Hence, you're
scarred
now in
me.
a townhome.
Yeah, it scarred me. 80 bags of leaf every fall. Just the guy gets tired of that. And you're right. Now I'm in a townhome and I watch the grounds crew blow leaves and mow my grass for me. That's and shovel my snow. I'm kind of enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a nice lifestyle to transition to for sure. And so the lifestyle that you have today, that time has afforded you now the ability to kind of go after some of your passions and dreams now that you're in a townhome.
Yeah, absolutely. I can spend my time and my weekends doing other things. So
So what are some of those passions?
well, I own some hunting property and a cabin up north. Love being up there. Matter of fact, through the fall was up there every weekend, from probably early September, mid-September through here just a weekend ago, November. Love the North Shore. Love the fall colors. I love not having to clean up leaves in the yard. So just I enjoy them on the trees and somewhere where I don't have to clean them. But so that's one of my passions is just being up north. Matter of fact, I'm taking my smoked turkey and pies and going to the cabin in the woods for Thanksgiving. Travel a little bit. The You commented earlier about my picture in the background here, Tanya, before we came live. It's
Yes, beautiful.
a trip to Alaska. I want to do a little more travel and being able to close the garage door and walk away from my townhome and not have to worry about snow in the driveway when I get home uh, is certainly an advantage of townhome lifestyle.
That trip, I mean, you would have never been able to do that had you been out at that house in Plymouth and had to do that kind of labor and care.
Oh, I would have found a
No.
way, but it sure was nice not to have to think about it.
Hopefully, people have enjoyed spending some time on here and learning a little bit about you, Cliff. It's been such a pleasure to step into your world. I just really appreciate that you hired me as your agent and that we've been able to grow in our relationship and become friends. I'm just so excited for you and your journey and hearing that you're going to be a grandpa again. That is so exciting. So how many grandkids do you have now?
4 outside the womb and 1 more in June. So, be 5 granddaughters.
Yep, and like I said, that was really something when I first met you and saw how you interacted with your granddaughter, and there's nothing like a good grandpa. So, thank you so much, Cliff, for being on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Tanya. You and Jen
Okay.
have a really nice Thanksgiving.
We will. Thank you. Take care.
You bet. Bye now.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you.